Welcome, everyone. I'm Bill Newell with MSO News Sports. Joining us, Bill Stacy, Nick Giannino, Matt Williams, the sports writers. This is on MSONewsSports.com and SalemNews.com, our weekly podcast. We took a week off last week, and we're back at it this week. And Little League Baseball back at it as well in a big way. So as we record this on Monday afternoon, and there is some action happening this week, maybe share with us, Phil, Nick, and Matt, what we need to know about North Shore Little League Baseball.
I can start, at least for, you want me to take District 15, Willie, you want to take 16, and Nick chime in wherever?
Yeah, let's see what we got. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoops.
8 teams left of the two districts. We started with 21. At the time of this recording, we're down to 8. And I think by the time people watch this tomorrow morning, it'll be down to 6. So.
Yeah, right. 4 left in each, right? So we got in 15, we have Beverly, Gloucester, Danvers National, and Amesbury. And then 16, Willie, we got the PVD West, Saugus, and Swampscott, is it?
That is correct.
All right. So Monday night, again, by the time you listen/watch this, one of these 4 teams will be eliminated, but Danvers National and Amesbury are playing in an elimination game Monday tonight as we record this Monday night. And then the winners bracket final, where both of those teams are undefeated in this round, Beverly and Gloucester will play. So the winner of that Beverly Gloucester game will move on to Thursday's District 15 finals. The loser of Beverly and Gloucester will play the winner of Danvers National and Amesbury to determine who gets to face them, and would have to beat them twice for the championship. Those were the 4 teams that emerged out of the 2 pools in District 15. They had the top 2 records in the 2 pools. Here comes Nick Kukru joining us here. He might be able to talk a little bit about Gloucester since he saw their game on Saturday. Beverly and Danvers played a really good game to open up the double elimination part of the tournament Saturday afternoon. 4-3 Beverly win. It was 1-1 going into the bottom of the 5th when Beverly scored 3 runs on a Cam Barber 3-run, 2-out double, make it 4-1. Danvers chipped away with 2 runs in the top of the 6th inning to bring it within 1. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, but Beverly pitcher Liam Brown nailed down the last 2 outs on a strikeout and a ground out back to him to finish off his complete game and give Beverly the win. As we said, Beverly will play Gloucester tonight. Gloucester took care of Amesbury in that other game, and Nick Kukru was there. If you want to jump in, Kooks, and talk about that one.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. 8-0 Gloucester there. Brady Shimataro on the mound. He went 4 shutout innings, 9 strikeouts, and they really got a good all-around hitting performance. Top of Gloucester's lineup is very good. Their first 5-6 hitters. The Albano brothers, Bryce and Chase. Bryce was on base 4 times. He scored all 4 times he got on. Pip Emerson has been a big lefty bat in the middle of the order. Luke Sala, shortstop, number 3 hitter. It's been very good. Jack Higgins up there at the top of the lineup as well. So they've been tough, 1 through 5, 1 through 6. Giuseppe Ferrara, their number 6 hitter, also been pretty productive as well throughout the tournament. And then they've been getting some solid pitching. They got some pitching depth, which has got them to this point.
Now, of the 2 matchups tonight, Danvers National beat Amesbury during the pool play section, and Gloucester also beat Beverly. But that game was fairly close, wasn't it, Kooks? It was like 2-0 going into the 5th.
Yeah, the final was 9-0, but that is a deceiving 9-0. It was 2-0 going into the 5th, and Gloucester got to Beverly's first reliever, and then I think they just put someone in so they could save arms. That's when Gloucester really broke it open. When it was kind of Beverly.
And it was an outfield error, I think, that led to like 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, exactly. The right fielder kind of fell down, and and Beverly, that wasn't a must win for Beverly, so they saved a couple of their bigger arms for the Manchester Essex game, and Gloucester blew it open a bit in the 5th. But yeah, Barber and Emerson are the 2 best pitchers I've seen. That's probably going to be the matchup tonight. 2 power pitchers, one a righty, Barber's a righty, Emerson's a lefty. So that should be that's probably the 2 of the better pitchers in the district there.
And that's a fun park to play at too, over at Harry Ball, where a good home run hitter can, I don't want to say easily, but can certainly put it onto the other field of the two fields there. I mean, we've seen a lot of balls over the years fly out of one field at Harry Ball and into the outfield of the other, and it makes for kind of a cool, spectacle when that happens. So I don't know if that'll be happening or not, but the rest of District 15 play will be at Harry Ball Field, both Tuesday night there's a game, Thursday night championship game, and if necessary, game on Friday night. How about District 16, Willie?
So yeah, Peabody West beat Peabody in extra innings on Saturday. Finally, looked like Peabody regular was going to beat the West. They came from behind to tie it. I think had the bases loaded, and West got out of it and ended up winning. And then won another nail biter on Sunday against Saugus. So they ended up, all the teams had to play back to back. So we'll see if we get a rematch of Peabody and Peabody West from last year's district final on Thursday. But Swampscott and Saugus are certainly going to have something to say about it. Swampscott's won 3 in a row. They, got an opening round bye, had to play Peabody in their very first game, ended up losing, I think it was either 5-4 or 4-3. There was a home run robbed. I mean, that was one of the great games of the tournament so far between Peabody and Swampscott. And Swampscott has winded its way through the elimination bracket now with 3 straight wins. They really put the hammer on Salem on Sunday with a 17-2 win. That's a really good Salem team, not bad, that had won a game and then played a really close game against Saugus. So the Swampscott bats have certainly come alive a little bit. So I would say keep an eye on the big blue kids. They're getting hot there. They kind of, sometimes in these double eliminations, you lose your first game, right? You think you're in trouble, but they might have just been victims of getting a bad draw there with Peabody, because these 3 games they've played since then, they've really been swinging the bats well and doing a great job. So Peabody and Swampscott will play today. So as you hear this, you'll know, which team has advanced. The winner of that game will play Saugus on Tuesday. And, then whoever emerges from that triangle will have to beat Peabody West twice, Thursday, Friday, and potentially Saturday if there's rain on either of those days. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Peabody West is Peabody West. They got 2 kids that won the state title last year in Tyler Masdy and Ryan Skerry. They won the district as 11-year-olds. Not that means much. They didn't do well in the section as 11s. I think Gloucester won 15 as 11s and did pretty well. North Reading was a factor in that sectionals as 11s too. That doesn't always mean anything, but 9 or 10 straight district wins for Peabody West, going back to the unofficial 2020 tournament that didn't really count and was played in September. So, they're rolling, they're still rolling, and we'll see if anybody can knock them off here in the next couple of days, or if it's going to be another Peabody West trip to the sectionals.
All right, gentlemen, that's pretty much it? We got it right for Little League. I think you guys nailed it all. Great. All right.
Not much to add there.
All right. We're going to go to golf here. We got some other topics to get to. And again, we record this on Monday evening. And so it posts on Tuesday morning at about 8:00 on salemnews.com and msonewsports.com. Nick Giannino, why don't you get us going with a little golf talk? What do you have for us this week?
Yeah, well, we got some big, amateur tournaments coming up. Obviously, we're getting ready for the Open here at St. Andrews this coming weekend, but we'll stick with the amateur stuff for now. We got a lot of good locals.
Are you going to be over
well
at the?
summer.
Are you going? They're sending you to the Open, right?
Yeah, they're flying me out. Yeah, I'm leaving on Wednesday.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
no, but I might be over at Concord Country Club this week for the Mass Amateur, which teed off today, Monday. So big tournament there. That's a one with a lot of history. It's the state's only amateur championship. This is the 114th year that they're playing it. Like I said, it's going to be held at Concord Country Club. They get 2 rounds of stroke play, 18 holes on Monday and Tuesday, and then the top 32 in the field advance to match play, which begins on Wednesday. That's a single elimination bracket, kind of like a March Madness type deal. And let's see, we got 143 golfers vying for those 32 spots. So, as of now, Monday afternoon here as we record, Christian Emeric of Swampscott is in the top 8 right now. He shot an even par 70 today. And yeah, while we're on the topic of Emeric, he just qualified for the U.S. Amateur, which is going to be next month in New Jersey. And that's, the top amateur tournament in the country, the U.S. Amateur. So just to qualify for that is a big deal. It's not every day you see locals make it to that stage, but he played really well. Christian did at Winchester Country Club last week in one of the qualifiers. Only the top 2 guys, I think there was over 80 golfers in that field, advanced to the U.S. Amateur. So shout out to him for doing that. That's quite the accomplishment. That's his second time that he's going to be playing in it. Christian, he's, a Swampscott kid. He plays out of Kernwood Country Club. He's currently playing at Holy Cross. And yeah, I spoke with him the other day. He said he was really struggling with his swing not too long ago, about 6 months ago. And he tweaked a couple things, went back to what he knew best, and he's playing some really good golf. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him at the U.S. Amateur. Chris Francoeur, who played at St. John's Prep, is an alternate for that tournament. He just missed the cut at one of his qualifiers, so he might get a chance to get in. But yeah, let's see, for the Mass Amateur that's going on this week, like I said, the U.S. Am isn't until next month. Christian's got the best score out of any locals so far. His brother's also playing in it, Aiden Emeric. We got Kevin Daly of Salem Country Club hanging in there inside the top 32 right now. Aiden's at +3. He shot a 73 today, so he's going to need to go a little bit lower tomorrow to qualify. But yeah, Mass Amateur is a grind of a tournament. You don't really see a lot of other championships like it. You got to go through the 2 rounds of stroke play, then you got to do 3 days of match play, concluding with the 36-hole finale on Friday. So it's a ton of golf for 1 week. Really a grind, but it looks like we're going to have pretty good weather all week, so that'll be good. And I should mention, Phil, what's the guy's name there? We had one of the oldest competitor in the Massachusetts Amateur.
Oh yeah, what was his
playing
name
this year? Local guy, I believe he plays out of Ferncroft. Let me see if I can find his name.
Hold on here. It was.
Yeah, Steve
Kamara.
Kamara.
From
Yeah.
Blacksmith, right?
He might have dropped out, to be honest. I don't see him on the leaderboard here, so he might have had to withdraw for whatever reason, but I guess we'll skip over that. But he was going to be the oldest player in competition out of Ferncroft.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I thought he was playing, but it looks like I don't see him on the board here.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah,
So-
some pretty good stuff. And then we got the WeMat Memorial coming up in a few weeks. We got the New England Amateur. So some good golf tournaments to look forward to here as the summer rolls on.
Got it. All right, Phil. Of all things, with this warm weather returning to us, let's talk about hockey. 'Cause you have a couple hockey notes to share with us.
Always time for some hockey notes, Bill. Yes.
And
definitely.
Nick Giannino and I will sit aside here, and Kooks can join you and Matt with some hockey.
Well, speaking of Kooks, did we ever make it official that where some of your Gloucester guys are going off to, Nick? Did we ever say that on this podcast?
I think so. I know Emerson Marshall is going to Cushing.
Yeah.
heard Jack Costanzo is too, but I didn't get that for sure, but I think he is too. I know for a fact Emerson Marshall is going to Cushing next year, yeah.
And I believe AJ Sacco from Masconomet is also going there. So that would make for
class of the NEC
good,
last year right there.
I was going to say that'd make for a pretty good North Shore line right there. But we do have NHL free agency coming up this week. I'm curious to see, if any of our guys end up going elsewhere. We have a couple of unrestricted free agents. Colin Blackwell, who started last year with Seattle, was traded to Toronto, went to the playoffs with the Maple Leafs, had a good season. He's an unrestricted free agent, 29 years old. If he gets a chance to cash in, I think he'll certainly do that. This might be time for him to land a 2 or 3 year deal if he can, a one-way contract for some good money, at least great money by us, but good money by NHL standards. I think the Leafs would like him back, but money talks. So we'll see what's available to him out there. I think we could also see one of his former St. John's teammates, Brian Pino, move. Brian's been with the Washington Capitals ever since they drafted him. He's had a cup of coffee in the NHL during the bubble tournament 2 years ago. He played a couple of was it 2 playoff games, Willie, I want to say, for Washington that year. In that first round, I want to say he played 2 games.
To consult hockey DB.
But he is also a free agent. He spent most of his time in Hershey at the AHL, so could be a chance for a fresh start for him with another organization. I know he was injured last year, so we're hoping for good health for Pins, and maybe a change of scenery would do wonders for him. Someone else on the move is Chris Bork. Now, Chris, one of Ray's sons, and Chris had himself, Chris probably played 80 games in the NHL between. He's had some time with the Bruins, he played with Pittsburgh. He also played with Washington for a little bit, but he was mainly an AHL guy. He's one of the all-time great AHL players. I mean, he's probably top 15 in all-time AHL scoring. He had a tremendous career. He retired this past April, and he was just hired as a scout with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he was up in Montreal for the NHL draft this past weekend. I'm going to be actually talking to him later today for a story on his new gig and what he'll be expected to do and what he's looking forward to and whatnot. So looking forward to talking with Chris. And, we got, Hockey Night in Boston tournaments ongoing right now. We got lots of kids playing, I think, in a sophomore tournament. They'll start the major showcase soon. Other guys we might have some guys in Chowder Cup or different kids playing different festivals, things like that. So we'll try to keep our thumb on all of that as the summer goes on.
Matt, do you have anything, or Nick, to add to hockey at all?
Yeah, we had some local girls win the gold medal at the Bay State Games, so that's nice. It was a really good showing by the Pingree contingent. Pingree's Zarina Sawyer scored the game-winning goal in the gold medal game, and their goalie, Maddie Santasuzo, played. She's from Oxford. She played just about every game and played really well at a great tournament. Abby Amigo from Marblehead plays at Pingree now, had a great tournament. So that was cool to see. A little bit of time in the rink in the hot summer weather. Not a bad thing there for sure. Sounded like Tia Picardi, who played for Mackinac last year, is transferring to St. Mary's, so that'll make the Spartans very dangerous. She was one of the best players in the tournament too. So always interesting. I think Phil and Nick alluded to some of the transfers out of Gloucester and Masco for the boys, and it's always interesting when you look at the rosters at these summer events for any sport. Football, we discovered a football transfer this way some years ago, but it comes up in hockey, seems to be the most. I've seen a few in baseball. Like, you're looking at the rosters for some of these summer showcases, and you see a kid that and it says a different school than you're used to seeing him at, and you're like, oh, is that a misprint, or is this kid absconded?
Nice. Phil, I know you have a baseball note you could share with us, an Ivy League baseball note and a North Shore connection to that Ivy League baseball note. So,
speaking of transfers.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you got?
Oh, you didn't see the news?
No.
Well, I'll tell you a story first, and we'll catch up afterwards.
Are you sure? Okay. So Columbia baseball, for those who follow the Ivy League, has done very well under the tutelage of one Brett Beretti of the Beverly Berettis. But Ivy League has not played baseball in 2 years. I mean, I think they went on their trip down south in February of 2020, pre-pandemic, but then they found out their season would be canceled. And then, as many people know, Ivy League did not have sports during the 2020-21 season. So they were 2 years out from playing. They came back this year, a little bit slow, 5-10. Then they get in the meat of their schedule, and they won, I want to say it was 19 games in a row. They won the league title. They beat Penn for that, and they earned a berth in the College World Series, at least in the regional rounds. So great season for the Lions under Coach Beretti, and one of his star players was from Peabody, I should say from St. John's Prep via Peabody, Tyler McGregor, number 3 hitter. Tremendous source of getting on base. I think he tied for the league in doubles. He could hit the ball for power. He drove in runs. He scored a ton of runs. He was a really good fit for them at the top of that lineup. Really kind of made things go for them. The great part for Tyler too is that now he's going to get to go and play one more year. He's not eligible to do so at Columbia, but he gets that extra year because of the year he missed. So he's going to continue his career at Northeastern for Mike Glavin. Still stay Division I, but he'll be a little bit closer while he's pursuing his master's degree there. So it's a nice story for Columbia. It shows you what kind of coach that Brett is, with the talent he gets in there, and getting the most out of those guys. I mean, to take 2 years off from a major college sport and still do really well. Imagine, say, like Georgia football not playing for 2 years, and they come back and, they're still a CFB team. I mean, well, I guess that could probably happen, but just to kind of give you some kind of guideline to go by there. And Tyler had a great last season for the Lions, and hopefully he has just as good, if not better, for Northeastern next year. So I'll be writing about Columbia this week.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the transfer news, and I think part of the story too. Ty.
I didn't tell you that ahead of time that he was transferring.
Well, no, I'm just saying, because we were just talking about transfers, and then you mentioned Ty, and I said, well,
yeah,
looking at transfers, there's a guy that's, and I think you got to give Ty a lot of credit, because there were a lot of guys in different sports, not just baseball, that left Ivy League programs because they said, forget this, I'm going somewhere where I can play,
Right.
Because the NCAA has opened up the transfer portal. And so for him to stick it out for 2 years and be a captain, I mean, that just shows loyalty and leadership, and that's really commendable, in my opinion. And his transfer obviously is related to Ivy League rules and the fact that he's already graduated, not that he's going off looking for playing time someplace. So I think that's really commendable. And some news, his former St. John's Prep teammate, the catcher Alex Lane, is also going to transfer from Bryant College up to Northeastern. He was second team All New England this past year, had a career year, a great season, hit 12 home runs, was one of the leading home run hitters and RBI guys as a DH and a catcher and a first baseman for Bryant. So that's another nice get for Northeastern. So we'll have a prep reunion over there for the Hounds, and we'll see if they end up being the real deal there in the CAA.
Good stuff, guys. That's some good stuff. So anything else, Phil, on oh, I know what I wanted to ask you guys. I'm sorry, I blanked out here, but you have the All-Stars. You've been announcing your All-Stars and Players of the Year as well in the Salem News. And this week, are there more coming up, Phil, Matt, and Nick?
Yeah. Guys, want to take it? Nick, I mean, you might as well. You're working on a lot of that.
Yeah, well, we got tennis coming up later in the week. We got one more track team to run, and then our Coaches of the Year next Monday to wrap things up. So I'm not going to give away any spoilers here, but
Oh, don't do that.
Buy the paper, go online, check out our All-Star teams.
Time flies when you're having fun.
What's that?
Time flies when we're having fun. I mean, it seems like the All-Stars are wrapping up. It seems like the season just ended. It's been going by fast.
Yeah.
I know we have a little bit of time left. Any football notes to share with us? I noticed being Monday, we're talking. Endicott College released their 2022 fall football schedule. In fact, the schedules for all their teams, and the high school schedules will be coming out soon as well. They're pretty well made, I'm sure now, but not fully released, I understand, online and so on. But any particular, are you hearing anything on high school football here in the second week or so of July?
Well, I mean, we know that teams are certainly taking part in 7-on-7s right now. I would guess most teams are, if not all. A lot of preseason conditioning stuff, guys doing agility work and strength conditioning, certainly hitting the weight room. There is a 7-on-7, Northeast 7-on-7, a popular event, which brings in, God, what is it, 36 teams? I want to say, Willie, maybe more. I can't remember. at Fenwick on Saturday, the 23rd. That's usually a pretty good take. You know, they have a half-hour game, 7-on-7, you know, to determine a champion there, and then they play the champions from the other regions. So that's pretty good. That I know. Anything else we can think of that's going on?
A lot of recruiting going on out there. You know, we got the Janelle Aguero sweepstakes. Supposedly is going to end on the 23rd. So I guess the prep's not going to play in that, or there'll be a man down anyway over at Fenwick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see too where Conan Cronin's going to go. Still haven't
we
heard.
talked about that weeks ago. I mean, I can't believe that you know, teams aren't loading up on that guy already. That's wild to me still. But you know, we'll see. It's always curious, you know, to me, like, you know, if you were to draw up a pie, right? A pie, like if you're a college coach, you know, what percentage, if you're looking at a guy, like what percentage is based on the camp where you actually see him against the high level guys? What percentage is based on the measurables, you know, the bench press, the 40 time, all that kind of stuff. And what percentage is actually based on the tape, right? And you know, I was curious about that, like what, you know, what the percentages are, because it seems like right now kids are going to a lot of camps, right, getting seen firsthand, but our coach is saying, I want to see the tape, you know, see what you do in the fall, or are they trying to get on them early? I don't know. I'm always curious about that, and I guess each team, it's probably a little bit different, right? Each college probably has their own sort of, you know, pie as far as what percentage maybe they're looking at for those different things.
I wonder how much projectionables factor into that as well. You know, where do they?
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
You know, do they see him still growing, or how much weight can he put on, or, you know, can we move this? You know, can we add? Can his build either gain or lose weight to play a different position? You know, move from outside linebacker to defensive end, or, you know, that kind of thing. So
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, and I always wonder too, when you're recruited by a college, you're probably slotted in, you know, they've got you programmed in for some level at some, you know, in some position or positions. And yet I wonder how that really plays out over the course of a college career for these players, because sometimes it doesn't play out the way they expect it to. And there's a lot of intangibles that you might only be able to pick up on game tapes or from coaches' interviews and so on.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else you want to share with us as we head out? 2023 Fiesta preview, Nick Kukuru possibly, or anything like that? No?
Way too
We can
early.
touch on the, you know, we talked a little bit about hockey, but the Celtics have been making some moves.
Yeah.
You know, obviously they came up short in the finals this year. We knew they needed to get better. I was never, you know, one of the guys for a Kevin Durant trade. I think you roll with Tatum and Brown for another year at least here. You know, they got you to the finals, and you just needed a few other pieces around them, I think, and they seem to have done that already early in the offseason here by bringing in Malcolm Brogdon, you know, another guard that whether he comes off the bench or he slides into the starting lineup, he can get to the rim, he can score, he can pass, he can defend. I really like him. Obviously, he has some injury issues over the course of his career, almost never plays a full season, but if you can get him for 60 plus games and use him in the playoffs healthy, he's going to be a big help for them. I really like Malcolm Brogdon. He was a rookie of the year when he came into the league, and he's just had a very nice career. And then you bring in Denio Galinari, who's one of the best, I'd argue he's one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. You know, he shoots around 40% from three for his career. He's tall. He's about 6'9", 6'10". He can shoot over the top of people. He might even be a 6'11". I don't know what they list him at, but, you know, a little one-dimensional, really just a scorer that they can go to off the bench. He can get hot in a hurry. So that he's going to be huge for them coming off the bench. Like I said, he's in his early 30s now, but it seems like he's still got plenty left in the tank. A little bit of a liability maybe on defense, but, you know, for what they need him for that role, for, you know, that scoring punch off the bench and a shooter that can knock down shots over pretty much any defender, I think he's going to be big. So now they just need to get a backup center, right? You get rid of Tice, who was virtually unplayable in the playoffs down the stretch there, and You still got Rob Williams and Al Horford, but he's getting older. Don't know about Rob Williams' health. So I think they need to bring in another solid backup center that they can, use at points throughout the season. It looks like Aaron Baines, who the Celtics had a few years back, he had a tough spinal injury, but he's on the right path to recovery. He was working out for some teams this past week. He might be a guy that the Celtics look at. He's 35 years old, but he's a big bruising center. Will do the dirty work for you. So I'd like to see them take a look at him at least if he's healthy. And, he's got a history with Brad Stevens playing on the Celtics. So that might be a guy to watch out for. I don't think they're going to trade for any, big name centers or anything like that. But, if you can get a guy that can come off the bench 15, 20 minutes a night, that's going to be big for them. But I like what the Celtics have done so far, making these moves.
Right.
Do you think they can sign David Krejci?
I thought did the Bruins re-up him or no?
Not yet.
I saw that.
Celtics could sneak in there and grab him,
I don't know how he'd do on the hardwood.
You're saying they need a veteran center. I mean, there you go.
A little undersized, I think, for the NBA these days.
We talk about that. God, what a bunch of babies, huh? The Bruins, all these guys want back in now that Cassidy's out. Are they really that upset that someone was mean to them?
I know.
Looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of crazy too. They all played a lot. They all scored a lot. They were all allowed to score and play offense and get paid, right? And so that's a little strange. I don't know. Maybe Krejci didn't like the revolving door on his wing, but that's not the coach's fault. He can only play the guys that are given to him, right? I don't know. And I know Montgomery's considered a player's coach, but I don't think he's particularly easygoing. He's pretty intense. So it's not going to be like a country club. He's not Pete Carroll, in other words. So I don't know. It's the Bruins is tough right now to really, get into those guys because it does feel like they really let their coach down quite a bit. If this is it's just it's a little bit of like LeBron James, to cross sports, and as so-called hockey fans, we're supposed to, mock that. Oh, we don't act like that. We stitch up and go out there and play, right? And these guys are kind of got a little NBA diva in them. It's really the opposite of refreshing.
I like that. Stitch up. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Always good talking with you, and we will talk again soon.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, sports writers.